Welcome, Ian Parovel. It's a
Hi,
pleasure to have you here. How are you doing today?
hi, Ethan. I'm fine.
Cool. So
Good
first
to
of
see
all,
you.
yeah, it's great to see you. And first of all, I want to say a big thank you to you. Um, for those who don't know, Ian is the artistic director at Board Game Arena, and he has been my main contact for having a whole slew of amazing games uh, played on Board Game Arena for our tournaments, and and that's just been amazing. So a big thank you to you personally and to Board Game Arena for hosting us.
Thanks to you. That was an amazing event. There was so many people, so many tournaments. It was really awesome.
Thank you. And also thank you on the homepage for featuring some of our live streams as well. That was great. Thank you for sharing the love.
You're welcome.
Really
Well,
appreciate it.
we really enjoyed to do that. That was our pleasure.
Wow. Well, we're very grateful. So first, just for the audience, how long have you been with Board Game Arena?
Close to 4 years
Cool.
now. Yeah.
And how did Board Game Arena start? Let's go back before you were there, so people uh, kind of get the history of Board Game Arena.
Yeah. So there was two guys like working together for the French metro, the subway, you say.
Yes.
And one of them was like trying to do a kind of a side project, and he started to develop his own game because he wanted to make a board game, a game online to play it online. So he started to make everything online, so the groups and ways to find players together to play his game. But his game was like not that good, so he just dropped it. But he made like he worked so much into that first website,
Yeah.
and everything was there. He was like, I couldn't like just throw everything away. So he wondered like, maybe I could put another board game on it. And he did. He put Carcassonne online.
So Carcassonne was the first game on Board Game Arena.
That was the very first game of Board Game Arena.
Obviously, a classic game. And Greg, who had tried to put his own game, does that game exist on Board Game Arena today? The game he developed?
No more, no more. But
Okay.
the fun thing is that there is still a bit of how to say code strips
Mm-hmm.
into the website. The core of the website actually that is giving like a way to find like some like
So there is
bits of
the
the
game.
game.
The game is hidden there somewhere potentially.
Yeah.
Okay, well there we go. There's a
But
challenge to.
nobody knows where it is right now. But there is some bits of it like everywhere in the website.
That's really funny. That's really cool. So Greg obviously is the CEO, but I understand the company's owned by two people. Emmanuel is the other half. How is he involved with BGA?
Yeah, because Greg started the company, started the website, and Emmanuel, that was one of his co-workers by the time, joined the Board Game Arena. And Emmanuel is the main developers for like most of the things. Even if Greg is programming on his side, Emmanuel is doing the hard job.
And you're the artistic director, so the company only has three people working full time.
Yeah, for now we are only three. We will hire more people in the upcoming days, but for now we are only three.
Which is amazing considering how many visitors does Board Game Arena get like a day?
In terms of visitors, it's like don't know, because like it's moving so high and so low because of like it all depends on before the COVID and while we were onto the lockdown and right now because it's holidays it's a little bit lower, but we have like 4 million active accounts, and we might have close to 500,000 visits every day.
Awesome. So it's a lot of people. I mean, I remember reading that at some point the server was struggling to have over 25,000 users simultaneously.
Yeah.
That was during lockdown, and that's when the bandwidth was increased. So now you can go up to a lot more users simultaneously.
Yeah, exactly. We increased the server capacity to close to maybe close to 50,000 people now we can host, but we are expecting more. That's why we increased it a bit more, because we are official partner for the Essen Spiel Fair in
Cool.
October. So we are crossing fingers, but that should go well.
I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Absolutely. Yes, and obviously very sad. Essen's a great fair, one of the biggest, that and Gen Con, the two biggest. So sad not to have a physical. That's great that you guys, again, are able to keep events alive, just like you did for the Mind Sports Olympiad and are helping with Essen. So again, I salute you.
Thanks. We always try to do our best. Of course, Essen is quite a different story, because it's really important for the industry and the pros, publishers, distributors, and things like that. And we're also really proud to help, like maybe smaller conventions or events that are more dedicated to specific group of people, like the Mind Sports Olympiad and other events like that.
And by the way, I want to thank you. You also, not only did you host, but you also recommended many of the games that we ended up using, including Circle of Life and Velitas. So, you've given great suggestions, and it's, that is wonderful. So you definitely helped shape our event to the success that it
Thanks. And I can't wait to see what it will be next year.
Definitely. We'll definitely be doing more stuff with you. I'm very, very excited. So I just want to say, go back to 3 people working full time, but obviously there are some freelance developers as well, right? Because there's so much going on board gaming. How does it work?
In fact, we have I don't have the numbers, because there is too many numbers to take care, but we have plenty, maybe more than 1,000 developers actually working on the BGA, but they are not full-time employees.
Huh? 1,000? Did you say 1,000 developers?
Close to 1,000 developers, yeah, but they're not. It's not like everybody is working. It's like, because on studio.boardgamearena.com, you can have access to the framework to make your own game. So we have developers, programmers during their free time trying to make their own game online. We have board game designers that are trying to make their game online, because it's easier for them to share and play and try the game. And we also have retired people trying to start to develop some games. And we have students, of course. A lot of them are starting their first projects on BGA.
Well, that's so cool that students get to do projects to actually put games on BGA and
that's a very good way to start a real programming project, because it's only like HTML, PHP, CSS. It's only board games, so it's all a matter of managing the cards and elements and everything like on a web page. So it's not that difficult. It's not like doing a game from scratch. But yeah, that's why we have so many students online.
Who are those students? Are they mostly French or?
No. Oh, we don't have that much of French. French.
Because of course I didn't mention, but some people might have picked up from the accent. Obviously, you're based in Paris.
Yeah, if you just give me a minute, I will just open an email I just received about that, because there was a dad looking for a way for his kid to have a side project with us, and he was from give me a second.
Sure. It's amazing how international things are. I mean,
okay, Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech in the States.
Yeah,
cool.
Georgia Tech in the States. Yeah.
That's so cool.
And we have people from most of the developers are from Europe, but we have so many of them coming from the States, even India, any country.
So cool. So cool.
The good thing is that everything is translated mostly for more than 40 languages. So it's quite easy to get in.
So when I log in, that's right. I usually see it in English, but 40 different languages are accessible based on your profile
Yeah.
when you log in. Really cool. Really, really cool.
And the good thing is that we have like the community on BGA is really helping us, like, because everything is open, like anybody can like improve translations, anything like that, and it's a huge teamwork.
Yeah, I bet, of course. I mean, it's amazing to make it accessible to so many people all over. And also, I mean, just moving away from language for a sec, there's so many great features. You can replay games, which is really great. That's been something that's been useful for us to analyze after the fact. I actually just did a video the other day with James Heppel, who won the Lines of Action World Championship that was hosted on BGA. And we replayed through one of his key games there. And that's a great feature. There's so many.
That's why one of my favorite, because that way we can check if the rules were like okay during the games, because we have many people like asking, oh, I lost this one, I don't understand why.
Yeah.
We can just check the game and it was right or not, and we can then like
of course, because sometimes there will be bugs, obviously, and that does happen.
It's happen, yeah, of course. You'll see.
Also, on other platforms as well. That's part of programming, right? That's part of dealing with technology. It's inevitable.
Exactly.
And then, so if I'm a games publisher and I come and I want you to add my game to Board Game Arena, like what happens? How does it work?
It all depends on the game and what you want to do with the game. There is like plenty of options, like everything is possible, but most of the time we have like 2 or 3 options. First one is who will develop the game, like who will program the game. So sometimes it could be us, sometimes it could be like a freelancer, and sometimes it can be yourself.
Just to be clear, when you say develop the game, you mean to do the actual programming. The game already would exist with rules,
of course,
and the artwork, but you mean developing the programming, developing to the transition, developing the transition to online.
Exactly, like taking everything that's in the game and put it online. Could be for a game that is already published. Could be for a game that has been already published, or for a new game you want to promote using BGA. So you can decide as a publisher if you want to put it for free by promoting other things, like we did today with the Marco Polo. Marco Polo is released. We released 2 games today. We released Marco Polo 1 for free for everybody, and the second one, Marco Polo 2, that is only accessible to the premium memberships. Okay. So that way, like you can choose anytime. The thing is that when it's for free, people are grateful. You have many games played, and you have very nice. Your games is seen by thousands of people. So that's exactly what happened with Lucky Numbers. That was just released last week, I guess. Yeah. And it's such a huge success. They already sent a reprint of the actual game. Because the game was free. But on the other side, for some games, like it's a good way because of the COVID, because some of the sales weren't that good. That's a good way to pay for the game designers and artists, illustrators, and things like that. And the development of the game that is not the online game, but developing the whole board game could be a good way for them to get like a bit of money back.
So if the game is free, does the publisher still get any money or not?
Of course, no, there is no money to win.
Okay, just checking. So, and then if a game is part of this premium package, is it some sort of like pro rata, where basically it depends on how much it's played?
Yeah, actually, it's working. It's quite easy. There is like a percentage of each games played every month. We take them in order, like the real percentage, and we divide the revenue between every games online.
Simple. That's very easy. Very simple.
Yeah.
But obviously, you'd have to be in the premium package to be able to participate in that.
Yes, of course.
And so actually people that are watching, it's very cheap to subscribe to Board Game Arena, and you're actually helping support games publishers when you do that.
Yeah, yeah. Even when the games are free, the best way to promote a game actually is to have it on board BGA for free. Like everybody can join play, and it always pushes the game upward.
Absolutely.
We can see people are buying the games outside. They get out of the website to buy the game.
So Marco Polo, you mentioned, hold on. So because we had our Marco Polo tournament, which was great. We were going to have it on Yucata originally, but you just added it to BGA at the last minute, and we played BGA also because Yucata doesn't have a clock, and you do.
Maybe.
No, Yucata doesn't. There was no way.
I don't know.
Yeah. So BGA is much better. But I don't remember, again, like we could invite people to tournaments and they could play, for free, premium or not. But so Yucata wasn't, so Marco Polo wasn't free until
Marco Polo is free.
Yes, but was it free in August as well?
It wasn't on the website. We needed to finish it.
Okay. You just
it is just released today.
No, we had a Marco Polo tournament in August on the Mindsports Olympiad using the beta Marco Polo.
Which Marco? Using the beta.
Yeah.
That's why. But today is the official release day.
Okay. Got you. Okay, I understand. Well, anyway, it was.
Yeah, for me, when the games are in alpha or beta, it doesn't exist.
Okay. Sure. Well, it was great in beta already last month, and we loved using it. So that's really cool. So what's your favorite game on Board Game Arena?
Carcassonne, for most. Like my all-time favorite is Carcassonne because quite straightforward. Like, and I love the game. How do you say that? Tile placement games. I love that. Like, it's kind of a puzzle, and it's a graphic puzzle. So I really love that. I'm not that fond of math. Like I'm not that good. That's why I took how to say that, literacy class.
Okay, you took a class. Humanities. That's why you went into the humanities. You mean you studied literature more?
Yeah, exactly. Instead of math, because I'm not that good, and most of the board games requires a bit of math. So yeah, that's why I like Carcassonne. There is like just the right amount of math I can handle, and Mr. Jack, but it's not online for now, but it will come in a few weeks.
Well, what is sorry, Mr. Jack? It's an upcoming game. What is it about?
Yeah, it's a game from Bruno Catala, the famous board game designer. It's a game that is not new. Like, it might have been published in close to 10 years now. It's a game for 2 players. You have one that is playing Jack the Ripper, and the second one is playing the detective, Sherlock Holmes. And you try to escape from the city if you are Jack, not being like recognized. And as a Sherlock, you have to find where is Jack before he escapes. So that's pretty straightforward, and it's quite amazing.
Amazing, cool. And then you also said, I think at some point, that you're a Seven Wonders player as well, right?
Yeah, of course, Seven Wonders. Of course, Seven Wonders, like one of the biggest hits. I'm not that. I'm not that guy that like very specific things nobody knows. It's like I'm going with the flow, and most of the times it works. Like Seven Wonders is such a huge success worldwide. Like Carcassonne, like
these are great games.
Yeah.
Really well proven. So, by the way, I'm sure people here would be curious to know, as someone who's the artistic director is online. How can they see you on BGA? What's your username?
My username is Dr. Click, DRCLICK.
And why? Why is
it? DRCLICK.
Why is it so like clicking as in clicking on a keyboard? Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is it that?
Because when I was young, there was a TV show that was talking about CGI and computer graphics, and I was like so much into it. Like, there was a TV host was a 3D characters, that was called Dr. Click. And I never left this nickname since then.
That's awesome. So, and by the way, is there some story about how that helped lead you in? Because you, at some point, you actually worked in TV. I think you worked for the French Disney Channel, right?
Yes, actually, that's everything is coming from my nickname, so the Dr. Click, because I was so fond of the show that I looked up for the artist that was doing it, and well, it was by that time in the good old day, when we just had internet, like unlimited internet. Like my mother never got the phone line back when we got this one, because you had to plug into the
Oh, yeah.
phone line, and you don't have the phone when you had the internet by the time. So I started to search on the internet who was the guy doing this TV show I was fond, and he brings me to another guy that was the artist that told me he has no more medias about it, but he shared me the contact of the TV producer by that time. And so I get in touch with a TV producer that is he's called Eric Chevalier. That was the TV show producer, and we befriended.
Eric Chevalier.
Yeah, Eric Chevalier, and we became friends and talking, and he was like getting some news. I was getting some from news from his side, and we were like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm doing videos, I'm starting to work, I'm starting to study first and then to work, and I was following him. He was like doing TV shows and things like that, and we befriended. And then one day he told me, I need a guy like you, come to Paris. And that's how I started to work for the TV.
Where did you live?
I used to live in Strasbourg, in the east of France, close to Germany.
Okay, wow, that's so cool. So you moved to Paris to work for the French Disney Channel, and then at some point you also got involved with video games, right?
Yeah, of course, because there was because when there was a financial crisis of 2009, I had to find something else to do. So I was like, okay, I did my job there, so let's find out. And the thing was that I was working for animation with Disney and French TV. So animation is like really used to be a really small circle of people. So everybody knows each other. So it was quite easy, like, oh, you have some work right over there. Yeah. Oh, please come. Okay. It was easy to find some other companies to work with. And I used to work for many of them. And one of them was Ubisoft. I was working on Red Dragon from Eugene System Ubisoft.
Really cool. And then from video games you moved to board games. So you did art directing, animation, obviously for video games and for TV. But then you moved to board games. How did that happen? And yeah.
And because I always played board games since the beginning, and I always made some, like, because I have two brothers. They're a bit younger than me, so that was easy for me to like make the game and push them to play. So I used to make board games, and I love to play whatever it is, like could be board game, video games. And then I was starting like to have interest into the board game industry, because there was some events where you can show your games. So I was like showing my prototypes in different fairs around France. And there comes a time where I found people that needed some help finding a way to make their games stand out. So I started to give some ideas, some hints, like how they should do, and then they started to hire me, like show me. So we were like giving, like exchanging good things, like they gave me money, I started to give hints on how to do things. And then I started to work as a freelancer that way. I started to work like for what's the name? Oh yeah, I worked for the Asmodee, for for cocktail games, for
What are, what is,
sorry,
what are the,
that's my
oh,
phone.
I love your ringtone, I gotta say. That's so,
You know what it is?
well, what is it?
That's the ringtone from a Pokemon TV show.
Oh, that's awesome. Of course. Awesome.
So yeah, where was I?
You're saying that you got into board games uh, gradually, and so and you got involved with a lot of them. What are the most popular board games that you worked on?
Yeah, of course, the Spiel des Jahres 2015, Colt Express.
Mhm.
I worked also on Deus from Jean Dujardin from Pearl Games, distributed by Asmodee, and many board games. Like maybe
What's
you
your favorite, by the way? I don't know if you're allowed to say from the ones that you've worked in. What is your favorite game to play?
I really like Machikoro, like Miniville, and Deus is still one of my favorites.
Huh.
And yeah, many different games. I love all of them, even the ones that doesn't
I know it's
that,
hard to see.
even the ones that doesn't sell, you know, because sometimes you have to admit like it was a failure. That's okay, but the game, yeah, I still like it very much.
Yeah, what makes a game, succeed? Actually, is it you sometimes you just don't know.
If you have any information about that, you never know, because that's the beauty of the industry. It's that you don't know. Sometimes a game that nobody looked after for years is just being released and has a huge success. I have an example right now. Lucky Numbers
Mm-hmm.
that was just released two weeks ago was originally published by Ravensburger.
Yeah, big publisher.
I think so. Yeah, big one. And they failed. And now a very small French publisher, Tiki Edition, takes the game, make it over, like new design and new packaging and things like that. And just because it's like maybe it's the right time, the right graphics, like or what people are expecting now, or because it's using BGA to promote the game, or I don't know. But now it's working like crazy. You never know. And for most of the time, I guess it's matter of time, like being there at the right time with the right project. A game that fails at selling doesn't mean the game is bad. It just means it doesn't found the audience
Yeah.
at the right time. But I don't think there is like, yeah, okay, there is bad game, but I don't think there is absolutely bad games. That just games that didn't found the right audience. So there is no magic formulas. Like
Okay. Okay.
you never know. You just try to do your best and hope the best happen.
What, so you still work, I believe you don't only work for Board Game Arena, even though you're working full time, you still have time doing some
Yes.
artistic direction, I believe, for a Korean games publisher. What are they called?
Yeah. Actually, I'm working for the Happy Baobab. That is the biggest Korean, South Korean publisher. And this is something I really want to keep like for now, because like board game arena is all about board games. But what is board game if you like just keep it only abstract? Like I need to have like the real cards, the real components, to know how where it is going. Like there is new how to say that, materials.
Yeah, physical material.
Yeah, and there is new kind of materials coming, like new kind of paper, new kind of possibilities into the printing, new kind of like ways to make the game. And as a designer, I keep it as a way to keep entertained by the business,
Yeah.
and to try things. Like the best thing is right now, I can try things, different boxes, different graphic design, different colors, components. That's fun. That's the fun part.
Well, you're very passionate about being a designer. Uh,
I love games and designing. So if you mix up games and design, that's perfect job for me.
awesome. And so,
I don't see myself doing anything else. I I I feel lucky for that, but you know, like it's not just about being lucky. You have to push your luck to make things happen, and I can't do anything else than what I'm doing right now.
What you're doing is amazing, first of all, I want to say.
Thanks, but I cannot do anything else. Like just I just to let you know, I didn't have my license to drive. I can't cook. Like there is many things I can't do. So
Well, I think it's quite common for people who live in a big metropolitan city not to have a driver's license. So cooking is probably a useful trait, though. Uh,
maybe
and you're probably being humble, you know. I'm
I
sure.
try to, because you know it's only games.
Wow.
Like trying to keep people entertained. That's not something that is essential in everyday life, but people need that, and I need that. I need to get entertained. I need to get like impressed. Like I need to read books. I need to get some that kind of magic that is not part of the real life, like eating, sleeping, working. So as long as I can keep my life um, like a game, I'm fine with that.
You have to consume in order to produce.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
what do you like to read?
Everything.
Science fiction, nonfiction.
I'm so uh, I never know how to say it in English, but I'm so hungry, not angry, but hungry
Yeah.
for everything. I got interested in anything, like in 3D printing, in toy design, architecture, engineering. Even it goes from how to set up a light show, like how the technical issue to how to turn vegetables into music instruments.
Oh yeah, it's cool. Of course you can put
It goes from like
and all that stuff, but
so that's why. And I'm really fond, of course, of science fiction, TV. Not much of TV shows. I'm kind of bored by what's TV and Netflix and things like that are giving us right now. I'm looking for more, but anything that has some interactions or nice story, yeah, I mean, of course, anything.
well, obviously you're able to use all of that in order to create. And as a designer, it's important to have all the biggest toolkit and open mind, right? That's
Because the world is to me. I know people sometimes don't agree with that, but to me, the world is a toolkit.
hmm,
You can use anything to do anything you want. Like
hmm.
just try. Yeah, you can try. Doesn't require much, like just your brain, bit of time, some wooden sticks, can do anything.
I love
If
it.
you can dream it, you can make it most of the time. I really trust that.
I believe that. I'm a firm believer.
So you know what I mean.
I love it. I love it. So I think we've had quite a long interview. I'm going to have to interview you again, I think, sometime because there's so much to explore. And this is
Yeah, or maybe just have a talk. Like it could be fun just to take some time, but there is so many things to do. But I will enjoy to have some time to have talk with you about you, life, universe, anything like that.
I would love to do
Could be
it.
good.
And why the answer is 42.
Yeah, of course, obviously. And don't forget your towel. Never.
Never, never. That's right. That's right. Don't panic. Okay, great. All right. Well, I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you once
Oh,
again
come
for
on.
everything and the inspiration.
Wait. Yeah, sorry.
Thank you so much, Ian.
Oh, you're more than welcome anytime. And let's hope that's the beginning of a great friendship. Like I like it that way. Like never see, never seen in real life, and then one day meet together, and we will have
Yeah, it'd be great to
a
meet
ton of
post-COVID.
subject to talk to. Yeah. Thank you very much.